Radio. My name is Johnny Hughes and I am your community rights advocate. We'll be talking today about the ban on drumming and noise making. That has become a subject of conversation. And you know that year on year, the Traditional Council announces a ban on drumming and noise making. This year has begun on the 15th of May 2023. It will stretch all the way to June 15, 2023. That's a 4-month. It's a part of activities to mark this year's Homo War. The ban affects any form of noise making, including the use of loudspeakers, drums, tambourines, funeral rites, and roadside evangelism. Addressing the media on behalf of the government, the public relations officer of the Traditional Council, Ni Late Anum Tete, urged the public to respect the month-long ban. What are the guidelines that will go along with this? Well, the directive during the period is that the ban, the usual form of worship, should be confined to the premises of churches, mosques, and noise levels be minimized to the barest limits possible. Religious bodies and the traditional authorities must show respect for one another and restrain their followers from making derogatory and inflammatory remarks about the beliefs and practices of each other. And the positioning of loudspeakers outside the premises of churches, mosques, and pubs are banned. Roadside evangelists are to cease their activities during this period. Apart from any identifiable task force which consists of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly personnel, the police service, and representatives from the Traditional Council with tags, no other person or groups of persons should be seen or found enforcing the abatement of noise in the metropolis. The boundaries of this ban to be affected is the northern boundary dividing Accra from the eastern region, the western boundary Udupongpehe, that's around the Kaswa area, and then the eastern boundary Osu. In addition, residents are to note that all villages and towns under the Osu, English, Alata, and Traditional Councils are affected by this ban. So, what did the specific notice say, dated the 20th of April 2023? It's from the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Traditional Council, PO Box 42, Accra. It says, press release, please take note that this year's annual ban on drumming and noise making commences on Monday the 15th through to Thursday the 15th of May 15th of June 2023. And it's essentially been signed by Evelyn Amewoche. She's the acting registrar of the ministry there. Well, but earlier we went onto the streets to find out from you what exactly it is that you think about the ban on drumming and noise making. But this morning we're asking the origins, the significance in today's world, and then we're also talking about the economic importance, if there's any, the health implications. We'll take a look at all of that. But let's go on to the streets now. I hear you.
Personally, I think I don't see it relevant, but I feel it was brought by the guns to achieve a certain purpose, which is, from what I've heard, it's a time for them to have time with the gods and then do whatever that is supposed to be. And then also I think significantly people are able to have a time to their own with all the noise making, churches making noise. You can't even sleep in your own house. So I think it's just a time, if we could take it from another angle, it's just a time for people to just have a peace of mind. So I personally don't have a problem with it. I think it's cool. Has it lost its relevance or significance? Yes, I think it's lost because most of us don't still understand why it's being done. I think if more education is being done, it will go a long way. But for now, I think it's lost its relevance. Thank you.
Yes, I have heard of the ban on drumming and music in the Ga community. Yes, it is relevant because we have other traditional communities still performing their traditional rites, such as the Ashantis, the Voltarians, and everybody still honors it. So why would they try and demean the Ga community? Yes.
I hear the band is called Aduma in Ga, but I don't actually know the implications with it, or with when it comes to the culture aspect of it. But they say when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. So you just have to respect whatever the Ghanaians are saying. We should respect and just live by it. It won't kill you. Just do what you have to do, so that nobody comes attack you and seize your stuff from you. So that's it.
The ban on noise making and drumming, really. I mean, it has come a long way. Traditionally, it's still relevant because it serves a purpose for the people who are traditionally embedded in it. For them, it still serves the purpose. But I mean, we've gone a long way. We've come a long way as a country. We've come a long way as a civilization. So I really, I don't think it still holds. It's not really necessary anymore. But traditionally, there's still some people who are very traditionally solid in this. So we'll give them the time for now. But trust me, in like 10 to 15 years to come, I'm sure it will die out.
This is Community Connect with Johnny Hughes on 3FM 92.7.
3FM 92.7, Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
And those were voices from the streets, 13 minutes after 9 here on 3FM 92.7. We do know that the Environmental Protection Agency, in order to address noise levels ranging from residential and commercial to industrial areas, the EPA, the government wing responsible for prudent management of the environment, set out guidelines that come with permissible ambient noise for the aforementioned areas. So the Environmental Agency puts permissible ambient noise levels in residential areas at 55 decibels during the day and 48 decibels during the night. And those are at around the educational health facilities was put around 55 decibels during the day and 50 decibels during the night, while the noise making levels for areas with commercial or light industrial activities was registered for 60 decibels during the day and 55 during the night. The new guidelines also permit 65 decibel noise levels during the day and 60 decibels during the night for light industrial areas and places of entertainment and public assemblies such as churches and mosques. Predominant commercial areas, according to the new guidelines, are allowed 70 decibels during the day and 65 at night, while the noise level for heavy industrial areas was pegged at 70 decibels during the day and night. So this is something that had been in force for a very, very, very long time. I can cast my mind back to about 2012, 2010, where the EPA said this was under the Honorable Sharia Ite. Are we still abiding by these directives, or are we just hoping and waiting that each year around May, the Traditional Council will then impose the ban, and then Accra will regain its peace and calmness, and then right after the month is ended and the ban is lifted, we get back into the fray and make noise all over the place? Well, let's connect with one royal, Ni Ayafio Tete. The first is Wei Joshi Oblanta Manche, and president of the Gadangbe Chiefs and Royals Council. And how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well by the special grace of God and our ancestors. What about you?
I am greater than Accra.
We thank God too.
Great. Now, first point is, why is it necessary to have a ban on drumming and noise making?
Okay, once again, greetings to your office. The little I can say about it is, you see, every tribe has its own custom and tradition they have been performing. If you go to the Ashanti region, they have the Akwesidai Festival. The people of the North region have the Tamba Festival. Then the Voltarians have the Hogbechuchu. There was a time on Kadanglu where our people faced a lot of hunger. Many of our people died. A lot of our people died. That was the days when we were using the butter tray. That's the essence of food. You have tomatoes, you give it to me, and I give you onion. And our forefathers believed that when they pray through our gods, through the gods, God will listen to them. So they contacted the gods of the land. They prayed to God. It was revealed to them that they need to have a very quiet time. there shouldn't be any noise. Very quiet time, Johnny. And pray to God and our ancestors, they will listen to them. Truly they did that. And whatever they wanted came in as they want. So during that time, after the prayers, when God heard their prayers, our forefathers referred to it that on that month, we should make sure every time when it's getting closer to our festival, we should try to have that quiet time to pray and fast. That is our traditional rulers, especially the chief priests and co. That is what they need to do. And they have been doing it every year. And the God have been listening to our prayers.
Now, again, one would ask, is it relevant today?
Oh, we the Kadangbe believe it's relevant. As a Ghana, maybe a Kadangbe, as a traditional ruler, we believe in the relevant. It's very, very relevant today. You see now, a lot of people are confused. Now, when you become a traditional ruler, when you start on the throne, people see you as somebody who worships the satanic gods. But we have the gods of our land, which we came to make them here. And we pray to them through God. So we, the Kadangbe, believe it's very, very relevant to us as of now. We, the Kadangbe.
During this time, what is supposed to happen while the ban is in full force?
Nothing is going to happen. During the ban and drumming, as I told you, you should have a very quiet time. Whether you are a Ghana, you are not a Ghana, we are the custodians of the land. The land belongs to us. So the rules that we observe here, that is what we're also going to do. So during that time, we believe that when you have that quiet time, God will listen to our prayers. Whatever we have done that have not gone through for the past years, after the ban and drought, what we believe is God is going to make sure our prayers and whatever we are going to ask Him is going to answer to us.
Usually during this period, you find a lot of young, strong, enthusiastic youth go around places, churches and mosques and event centers and all, trying to enforce the ban. Some arrogate powers that are not be given to them onto themselves, and then some also work with the authorities, the local authorities, the police and the regional authorities. How do we know which ones are genuine and which ones are not?
Okay, very good. This is a very laudable question. Johnny, as the Ghana says, you are a Ghana, as the Ghana keeps saying, Shia fair, Shia, Mensa, Jemmy, Kai Mansa, Jemmy. Shia fair, Shia, Mensa, Jemmy, Kai Mansa, Jemmy. The Ghana Traditional Council have people they are working with, and they are working hand in hand with the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. They have people who will be going round to make sure that people should abide by the rules on the Kadangbe land. And you know, definitely, I was an assembly member enough at Baka to do. I mean, you know how to do it. We have the good ones and the bad ones. The same as the Kadangbe land. Most of these Indian yeomen who will be going around using the name of the Office of the Ghana Traditional Council and AMA, who are not working there, most of them are even not Ghans. So now the Traditional Council have made it clear and open the AMA that they have people who will be going and wearing uniform. So you are not part of them and you are using their name to cause problem with the Kadangbe land. They will deal with you legally. That's what they are doing. I think it's the right path.
I see. Now, where are these people drawn from? Because sometimes you'll be there, and then suddenly somebody comes and says, "Oh, I told me Asa, you know, and Asafwache, and all of you have too many of those individuals going around. It's quite chaotic, if you ask me, because then it doesn't create a positive public image for the Ghana state. What do you say to that?
Yeah, that is very true. You see, we have the Osu Traditional Council, the Ghana Traditional Council, the Tamas. We have a lot of traditional councils. So what I think the Ghana Traditional Council is trying to do is, even like assuming you are the head pastor of Presbyterian Church of Mokola or Usu or Mamplubi, when someone comes there trying to identify himself as that he works with the Ghana Traditional Council or a Metropolitan Assembly, I mean, you have the right to call the AMA or the Office of the Government to confine in them whether they know that person or not. I think that's going to be the only solution. Because now with this Asafwache issue, I mean, it's long overdue. But it's not only on Kadangbe land. It's on most of the lands that is, most of these lands that we have children, this problem, the people are facing that problem. So I think the best thing they should have done is when someone comes there, because I know When I was the president of Academic Youth Association, I faced a lot of this problem. I've been having a call when it's banned on Drum. A lot of boys will be going to churches. These items, whereby the traditional council, the AMA, don't know them from Adam. So the advice, we even have a press conference once that the advice we are giving to them is when someone comes in, when the person tells you, and works with the Academic Reporter Assembly or the Grand Traditional Council, if you don't believe the person, try and call them, confide in them. Because their numbers are everywhere, which is very, very important. That is the only way we can solve this issue. There.
Okay, hold the line for me, Nia Ayafiu. Let me connect with Numo Blafo III. He is the Gan Blafo Wulomo. Ni Mimbabanye.
Manya Blau Pato.
Min Kasebo Fiu. Ni Aduma, there's a ban on drumming and noise making, and we want to understand. First of all, Nia has told us it is not fetish, but where did this whole concept come from to ban drumming and noise making for a full month?
Okay, thank you, Johnny. I think as Nia Ayafiu said, it's true, it's not fetish. But if you look at the chronology of the processes, the chronology of the processes towards the rights on the ban on drumming and noise making, you will see that it is significant to farming, because it's all about farming processes. And if you recall, history tells us that our forefathers were mostly or largely farmers, and then those on the coastal side are fisher folks. In fact, those on the coast who fish do also have farms. And you look at the way the Christians had their Lent. Immediately after the Lent, there was the Muslim Ramadan.
That's right.
And then this is following. The ban on drumming and noise making is following. Now, let us look at it point or right by right. We start to go and clear the land or the farm. That is the sacred grounds where the millet and corn are planted.
Okay.
That is the beginning. We clear the land or the farm. Then the following week, we start the planting. And then, the processes to leave the farm is about like harvesting. Because if you don't clear land, you cannot plant.
That's right.
And if you don't plant, you cannot also harvest.
That's true.
And then, that is when, after all the harvest has been done, then rights will be performed to formally lift the ban on drumming and noise making. So there's nothing fetish about it. It is just that we, the Wulomo and the Woyu who perform those rights. That's why I think people want to attach that fetish thing to what we do. But then, you see, look at the timing too. It is the time people are clearing their land to plant. And during this time, would you have time to go funerals, going to parties, going merrymaking and all that? No. Because when people are clearing their land, and that is the time you are also making merry. When it comes to harvesting, and you don't harvest, what will happen? You go hungry.
That's right. Hungry
So
wolf.
this is something that has been well taught by our forefathers, just to give a discipline about our lives, about how to prosper. And since during this time, that we also need the Wulomo normally fast and also pray for food, plenty harvest, bounty, fish harvest, and all those things, so that the Omowo will come and we have plenty of food to celebrate the Omowo, and even to sprinkle some to our forefathers who fell during the time of our great famine.
Right. Numo, you mentioned earlier that the Christians will have Lent, the 40-day period of fasting. The Muslims will do theirs. May I ask if the Wulome Woye also fast during this period when the ban is in force?
That's just what I said. But it is not as compulsory as it is with the Lent and then with the Ramadan. But some of you, the Wulome, we fast throughout. Some of us too, we fast on certain days because maybe due to our health and all that,
right,
you cannot fast the whole of the 30 days. So what we normally do is that we do it on certain days, some days, especially the day of your deity. So if you have about maybe 3 days of deity worship, that is the time when you dedicate that day to fast and pray. But during that time, it is our prayer period.
Where are the farmlands where these, stuff are cultivated for harvest?
Okay. And you see, we have the houses, that is Lantejawe. They do it first. And then it's followed by Sakumo. And then the Wednesday and Thursday will pass. And then we have the Friday where the Kole and then Gusiafi and the Sukrote. And then Saturday is Gua. And then Sunday is Oyadu. So the following Monday, that is after the Shiba, the following Monday, Dantu or Lantejawe will go and plant. And they all have their various farms. Let me just give you maybe somewhere that you can easily locate.
Right.
If you get to the Osha Clinic, Lantejawe have their sacred farm there.
Okay.
If you know Mangona, Mangona,
right,
just opposite the mosque.
Right.
Sakumo has it there. Nayi too has his own inside there. Bisiafi also has it there. And then Kole has it near this place. Is it Galloway? Yes. So, and then Gua also have their own at Kolewoko. I don't know how to look, but it is behind. There's some one dynasty there. I've forgotten the name. Palladium dynasty.
Right.
They have it there. But Oyadu does it right in its house.
Okay.
So they all have their sacred farms where they perform these rites.
So essentially, it's not heavy farms or large farms where you can actually see the crops grow. But
it's just a small portion that has been allocated purposely for these rites.
I see. We'll come back to you. Niayafio, let me bring you in. What will be the consequences of not obeying or abiding by the ban on drumming and noise making? Niayafio.
This is a very laudable question, Johnny. I think this is first of all, let me greet my senior brother, Romo Blavo. He's one person I respect so much. He's doing a lot for Gadangui. I pray he do more than that. Johnny, this is very simple. I mean, when we say Gadangui, that's a Greater Accra region, we are the custodians of the land. The problem we are facing now is Greater Accra is cosmopolitan. Because being cosmopolitan, most of the tribes are here.
Right.
So people think that they can take us for granted, which is not going to happen. Seriously. It will never happen. The Ghans have the problem which they say that called their Shadenche and Milomo. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is a must. They have to abide by the rules of the land. When you what I know is like, let me use the word allegedly because I'm a little confused, but I knew that the Ashanti region, when they have performed their Akwesi festival, they've been playing or a helicopter hasn't passed through the air. Everywhere needs to be very quiet. Everywhere needs to be very, very quiet. That is their rules. That is what they do there. And you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. So as whether you are a Tabani, you are what, and you are what and whatever you are a Khan, and you are on Greater Accra Gadangui land, and it's time for our of drowning, and the traditional council said, this is what we want, everybody to abide by it. But we have been facing some problems because of fear being cosmopolitan. So the traditional councils, not them alone, and other traditional councils have made it clear. They have made it clear. They are working hand in hand with the security service that anybody who will not abide by the rules, they will deal with the person legally. That is very simple.
I see. Well, Nomo, let me bring you in. I know that we are GIJ alumni. You have done some public relations and journalism together, just like myself. What Niayafio mentions brings on the question of brand positioning and presentation. Is it your view that...
I'm losing you, please, Jenny.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, please. Can you go back to the question?
Okay, no, I'm saying that, look, what we're taught back at GIJ, in terms of public relations, there's what we call brand positioning and presentation of the brand. Is it your view that the Gadangui brand has been so positioned well and presented that what Niayafio is talking about that happens in other tribes like the Ashanti tribe can also be done here where there's a ban in force and everybody is obeying it? We don't necessarily have to be fighting people. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think that is the challenge that we are having. Because as you said, you position a brand before you can project it, or a product or whatever service before you can project it. And currently, you see the kind of turmoil the Ghana traditional area has been through since the demise of our late king, Yamugi. And we haven't found our footing. So it has become difficult for us to, get or position the brand so that we can project it. Yes, some of us are doing what we can individually or collectively to get to a point where what you say will be what should be done. Because currently, or recently, I just saw certain information circulating on the social media where the traditional council has issued a statement.
Right.
And then the state ministry has also issued a counter statement or a agenda or whatever. But you see, the traditional council came back to give an agenda on that. And I think we are on the right track to where we need to go. We shouldn't allow ourselves to be swayed by certain individuals or groups of people. What we can do, my view, is that, look, let us put behind whatever differences we have and rather come together so that we can project a one gathering. But you see, immediately we're talking about that, then in between all of us, some of us, then there are certain divisions which is not doing well or is not, giving us that kind of impetus to have one voice. Because if there's one voice on an issue, nobody can, penetrate through. But when I have a view, and then another person is also coming up with a different view, then the person listening or hearing or, watching, we think of the one that will do or that will benefit him or her, then that person will follow that, and then that division is that deepened. So I will plead with all Gadangme that, look, nobody is forcing anybody to come under somebody. But you see, if we are together as one people, I don't think we will have all these challenges. But where we are feeling that, yes, I'm autonomous, you are also autonomous, but even if everybody can be autonomous, but yet when you come together, there will still be someone who has to be chosen as a leader. So I think that is what we should be thinking of. And then, look, Gadangme is a great tribe in Ghana.
Right.
Except that because of our divisions and differences and all that, that is what is making us look as if we are no people.
Right.
And people just walk over us and do what they want to. But if we come together, there will be nothing until that we cannot surpass.
Ni, would you place this on the fact that we believe that Ablekuma Abakumao and now Ablekuma Eba E Komawo?
Well, and even if we haven't given ourselves into that, how would that be Abakumao? Because you see, we believe that Gayumo Kunimba Nweke Komo Akebo any Tuoma.
That's right.
Nweke Akebo Tuoma. And it's there, I'm about you, Mancheno. What about it?
Right.
Because you go to many places, or traditional areas within Ghana, and you will find girls, prominent girls, with their large tracts of farms. They are there, and they don't have any problem.
I see.
Don't have any problem.
Okay.
Because they live according to the dictates that is being spelled out to them. And there's no problem. So why, in our case, it is different?
I had a conversation with another Gadangme, and he seemed to suggest, and we agreed, that before the imposition of the ban, why doesn't the traditional council, if like the Gadangme and everybody else, come together and have localized education, platforms for the key stakeholders like the churches, the mosques, event centers, and all of that, rather than sitting silently, waiting, and then suddenly announcing the ban, and then we rush to enforce it forcefully. What do you say to that?
I think it's a laudable idea. But Johnny, let me chip in here. Most of the time, when we're talking about Gadangme issues, we put all the pressure on the people of traditional council. Do you understand what I'm saying? Most of the time, any problem that comes, they say traditional council.
Right.
But when you talk about Chieftaincy Act, the powers that the traditional council have, that's the same powers that the traditional council have. The same way Astema, the same way Nungwa and Teshi. Do you understand what I'm saying? When it comes to traditional we talk about traditional council. So it shouldn't be only the Ghana traditional council. It's about education we are talking. I think it's a laudable idea.
Okay.
It should be all the traditional councils. They need to do that.
I see.
It should be all the traditional councils. But I don't know. I don't know whether they have been doing it or not. I think maybe they have been doing. But what the person just said, I think it's a laudable idea. But I don't know the traditional councils have been doing it or not. But I have the support of it. I think it's a laudable idea.
Okay.
Because it's a whole lot of education. It's a laudable idea.
Numo, now walk us through the process of lifting the ban. You walked us through the process of imposing the ban, the planting, and all of that. Now let's imagine that we are at the time of harvest and lifting of the ban. What would we see? What goes into it?
Let me just say something about the what I said.
Right, the education.
I'll continue with it. You see, because of Accra, the nature of Accra being cosmopolitan. Before this ban on drumming and noise making, and in fact, I've been in several RESEC meetings where we invite the leadership of the churches, the Islamic community, and all. And then all these things are spelled out before even a statement is issued. I recall that when I was at AMA, I had to come up with this joint task force with police, so that at least when our people go out there, the police will harass them, or the churches will not go and call the police for the police to come and harass them.
Right.
I was once at the regional House of Chiefs where we met with the regional police commanders and all, and they were saying that they don't have any law to prosecute people who have broken the ban. I said, no, there is a law. Because the laws of Ghana include customary laws.
That's right.
Which are actually specific to each customary area.
Sources
or
of
traditional
law.
area.
Right.
So you cannot say when somebody has broken or have gone contrary to the constitution, you cannot prosecute the person. So that aside. Now, as the processes to make the ban, you know, it is like, as I said, you've gone to clear your land, you've gone to plant, you go and harvest. Those are also processes that will follow the sequence as we began with Lanteja. It isn't that the corn or the millet has actually grown fully and you can harvest it, but it is just a significance of it. It is something to signify that we are doing this, we are harvesting, but not actual harvesting of the crop.
All right, because maize takes 3 months to gestate.
Thank you, but this one is just between 28 and 30 days. So it is just, some symbolism to say that we are harvesting, but we actually plant. As for the planting, we actually plant, and they will germinate, but then they won't grow to the fullness where we will harvest the crop. But we do something to symbolize that we are harvesting.
Right.
Then when we do that, that will begin by Lanteja Way. On Monday, Tuesday, Sakuma will go, and then Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday, Kole, PCRCA, and then Osuklote. Osuklote actually does this in the castle.
Okay.
Yes, that's where they have their sacred farm. So they also do it. Then I will do it on Saturday. Then we do on Sunday, and then the Tuesday night will go and do their own. Then Wednesday will pass, and then the Thursday, we perform the official right to actually lift the ban on the drumming and noise.
Why does it have to be the Gbese Manche?
Yes, that is his position as a Dontini of Gas State.
Right.
And I think that is what has been. Because you see, our forefathers have that foresight of democracy. Maybe they didn't put it on paper. But it is actually a driving rights and traditions that we perform every day. So that is also his duty to do it. And that is when, on that day, the Odada drum will come. It actually comes out every year, annually. It doesn't come out every day. And it is not played at any occasion. It is only played on that day alone. And if it is finished and taken into the room, it is not touched again until another year. So when he officially performs that right, immediately the ban has been lifted. Everybody can do the number of, the volume of noise the person wants to do. Nobody's business.
Odada, what does that mean?
Odada is like old.
Oh, Dadao. Okay.
Dada. Oh, Dada.
Oh, okay. I see.
You see, Dada. So it is something like something old.
There are those who think that the traditional council and all the others that are able to impose the ban for people to abide by it, they do what the EPA is actually struggling to do effortlessly.
Hello, I'm missing you, Johnny.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm saying that there are people who say that the traditional council, once you impose the ban on drumming and noise making, within a month the whole of Accra becomes very quiet, and that's something that the EPA has been trying to do, because I just read out the EPA's acceptable levels of noise all over the city, but you do it in 1 month effortlessly. Have you considered sharing some of these nuggets with the EPA on how to get people to abide by the laws and rules?
Johnny, I don't know how we will educate people again, but as always said, every day a foolish person is born. Excuse the language. Because since this thing started, before, in the 70s when I was growing up,
right,
this thing isn't any issue at all. When the ban is placed, it is placed, and nobody, comments or, I don't understand. And now that we say we are civilized, we're in there daily, well, look at what we are doing. And look, since when? I've been on TV, on radio, educating people, I've been on public forums, talking about this. For how long? For how long? So it is time, I think, we have to start prosecuting people publicly so that people will understand that when you go to somebody's jurisdiction, you have to abide by the. And this ban on drumming, it doesn't cover even the whole of Accra. It is just the Gamashi and these towns and outlying villages and all that, up to Osu. But during this period, you can go to La and do what you want to do. It is nobody's problem. From La up to wherever, it doesn't affect us then. It is just from Osu up to our boundary with the central region, and then towards the north, our boundaries with the eastern region. Finish.
Okay.
It doesn't go to La, it doesn't go to Peshi, it doesn't get to Mingwatema, all those places, it doesn't get there.
I see. I'll come to you because you worked formerly at the AMA for us to know how to identify who the correct ones are and who the quack ones are as we get ready to go into the weekend. People will fall foul and they will be dealt with one way or the other. But Nia Yafiu, let me pick your closing thoughts. What would be your advice to Ga youth, especially those who will feel that their culture and tradition is being disrespected and that they need to rise up and act? They may be acting in good faith in the interest of the Ga state and in preserving their rights and culture and tradition, but they may also be doing it in excess and may fall foul in the face of the law. What do you advise?
Yeah, my little advice to them is, I think nobody is a captain to the law. The law really works in Ghana. Some people say the law doesn't work in Ghana, but when you have been affected by the law, you know the law really works in Ghana. When you talk about this government drumming in Kamashi, as Nimo Blafo said, the people who are going behind this government drumming, the people who are in charge is the Ghana Traditional Council. So any youth on Kadango land who doesn't understand anything should contact the Ghana Traditional Council, but they should take the law into their own hands.
Right.
That's one little advice for them. And those who have been going out, use the name of the Ghana Traditional Council and the Accra Metropolitan to collect people money from people, they should put a stop to it. It tarnishes the image of the Ghana Traditional Council and the Kadangis in the whole. They need to put a stop to it. And Johnny, as I'm telling you, sometimes I'm not talking about that's been a Kadangi or traditional ruler, but you know, when you are in a region whereby that place is a cosmopolitan, Johnny, it's very difficult to deal with people there. That's what you need to know. Yes, because now, assuming an Akan or an Ewe does something, if they are not make their feasibility studies very well, what they are going to say is the person is a gun. Do you believe that? Yes, but the person may not be a gun. You see, the critical crisis cosmopolitan. That is why we are having those problems. In fact, I'm very grateful and I'm very proud of the Traditional Council. Yes, my very good friend, Honorable Samoa, did something which I think I sent to you.
Right.
From his office, about the ban and drumming, and I like professional traditional councils. If most of these will be happening from most of the traditional councils, I think the respect that needs to be given to Gadanos will be given to them, and I'm grateful to them. I think they should keep it up.
All right. Thank you. Niaya Fio Tete, the first. Uye Jo Shishi of Blantyre Manchen, President of the Gadangbe Chiefs and Royals Council. We're grateful for your time. Numo Blafo the third, you have the final word. And how do we identify the originals from the quacks? The originals. I mean, people go around trying to enforce the ban on drumming and noise making. Sometimes it appears that they may not be original after all. You have worked at the assembly before. How do we know that this person is genuine and this person is not?
So we came up with these tags from the traditional council to identify the groups that they come out to enforce the ban. But as large as Accra is, the Gama or the Ga traditional area has its divisions. So, and then these divisions too, maybe most of them are in the capital.
Right.
How about the villages and all that? So all I'm saying we've tried to do is that the letters that are issued or the statements that are issued are given to people and identified from the specific traditional area or divisional area. I mean, from the chief's palace.
Right.
With these statements have telephone numbers on it. So if the person comes to you and issues or shows you the statement, you can call any of the numbers on it, and then it will be confirmed that this person is coming or is authorized to do what he or she is doing. That doesn't mean that people may come, or people who will come to enforce this ban, all of them will have the statement. But what I always advise is that, look, to be armed is to be forewarned, or to be forewarned is to arm yourself. If you don't go contrary to the law, nobody will take advantage of you.
Okay.
Because definitely, we've had occasions where thieves have taken advantage of people and collected their things. I recall one time we went on such an enforcement, and then the number that was given us, or the people left, when we called, it went to the education ministry. So I always warn people that, look, to avoid all these problems, just abide by them. At least it's only about 30 days. And what would that do to you if you don't play music, if you don't, make any noise? What would that take away your dignity? Or part of you away? So my advice to people is that, look, just abide by the rule. Don't these problems.
Thank you very much indeed. Numo Blafo the third. He is the Gang Blafo. Not me. Numo Blafo. Okay. Inye koko enyeni. Oh niama inchekweni. Mami nyem papa me klobo bi. Ishe pepe. Numo Blafo Blafo Wulomo Wonderful Shojugba. Thank you. 50 minutes after 9. This is where we pick your call. 0592 928795 and 0208-227-290. 0592-928795 and 0208-227-290. 0592-928795 and 0208-227-290. Khalifi. Good morning.
Hello,
Ojeko.
This area.
Yemo imboboto.
What I would do, me talk on okay, and from a phone to hand. National Council like in Taubo one. When book a phone to know about Finno market and my fan Abami. Wonderful.
Amen. Thank you. You are on 0592-928795 and 0208-227-290. We're giving you good information on the ban on drumming and noise making. To identify the originals from the quacks, know that they will have tags from the traditional council, and also from the local authority, the Accra Metropolitan Authority. And they will have a statement with them to show that they are genuine. Don't fall victim to those who would come and steal your things or extort money from you, foment trouble here and there. And then you also have to play by the rules, abide by the rules. Just 1 month. Don't make noise. 1 month only. 0592928795 and 0208227290. I want to believe also that we've run you through the processes of the ban on drumming and noise making. From tilling the dead to planting the corn to harvesting and all of that. Good morning.
Johnny, yes, Precious.
Precious, talk to me. How are you, sir?
Oh, by the great, Johnny.
Let's go.
You see, Johnny, this kind of law in our country, but this traditional law cannot work no more. Because then they they sold the land to people to do business. Even on legalized land selling, the traditional self not like so, the juju them don't like so. So how they offend the juju them, now population where they this country where they are, because the noise making is at anywhere. In my area, your noise are here anytime. You see, and we hate noise, and government have hate noise. So the government have to support and make more noise making is a bank that they are doing it. You see, now positive everything making a man, then they are calling to do a day to work. Now the Christianity you want, but Christianity they are not right. How about you do? Our father perform that thing, but they not prove anything better to us. And just Johnny, this kind of they try to do it now before the white people kind of control us. If you don't get independent, like we were doing in this country free.
Okay.
They don't know that. So they have to make them guys say, now go according to Ghana law. Anybody who is doing something, punish up.
Well, Ghana law includes customary law as a source of law. Thank you. 0592928795 and 0208-227-290. Dan, good morning.
Good morning.
On you, Sava?
That's our president. In fact, when Blackwood was talking, you were saying that this banner of zoning association is fetish. He said no, it's not associated. But later on, he mentioned about deity. I was expecting that you asked me the name of the deity because it's as one of the things make people to be suspicious. And secondly, you asked about the farm. It's really, there are farms where corn are planted. And you don't see this planting these days. What are we celebrating? So I think we need some more clarity.
Okay.
Some people are saying it's not relevant as a result of expansion. People are now building where there should be farms. So we need some more clearance on this issue.
I hear you, Dan. Well, my understanding when he mentioned deity is that they all have deities that are connected to them. Good morning.
Good morning. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh, Gosami. How are you?
Thank you very much.
Talk to me, sir.
God bless you.
Bless you too.
And I hope you are not part of the journalists who went for the kind of this money.
Boss, I beg you, lead me not into temptation.
Sure, I know you will not be part of those people. No matter how. I think this ban of drumming, I want the Ghana Traditional Council to place emphasis on their land that have been taken over from this government and then creating problems, for this nation. Because taking over these lands have led to we going to pay judgment debts. And I don't hear them talking about it. I think it's time to start talking about this. Taking over with their lands and waiting for someone to come and fight for them. That's the journey. Areas in this country, some people don't know the names of areas of this country because they have been named after, I don't know, a place like American House like this. Do you know the name of that place?
Tell me.
It's Otenshi. Otenshi. So I have a plot there. That's the letter given to me. That's the name on it. Potenshi. They want Potenshi 1 or Potenshi 2. And people don't know that that's the name of that place. And we continue to call the American House.
It's because somebody. It's because somebody came to build there and decided to call the place American House.
But we should.
So I agree with you. I mean, the places around the Chado and all those places that have gotten all those nice.
I know you have been advocating for that, calling names. Because of you, we were able to know the real names of some places. And God bless you for that.
Thank you very much. Achi Mota, Nima Mang, Mamomo Mimbi, Bubuashi, Joshishi, Joshishi, Tessa no atop the rock, Joshishi, the Great Valley, Jowulu, the Great Valley. We'll have a whole class for that later. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny Hughes.
Yes, sir.
Fine today.
Me do more far.
I told me niaye.
Yeah, talk to me.
Me ndabushike program ni fele bine. No mo blafun ke niaye afike te ameyi oduba. No ni o menji. Doye ameli amiye kai. Ito boni no mo blafun ke niaye afiwe. Ame fina ke biene wo fen won. Ya wo fen gameji wo. No wa me here kai na me sumo na me get that money because they pay what me go ya ma me ko no am you mo ka me ayu akena ka fo ka sa no bra coin jo na you mo me na me do apoto twi shi be bie
wa mo twi
okay apeko na kuma o na wie wo ke wa ri aka no ka responde ba fi bi intana ba ke ka me ti de ka me no wo ko yo shu ku man shi ku me wo you amena to write on fi ni jo to njola ba
okay
ni no ko ni yomi ma yui le kuku ya ke mapa ga traditional council no ba ni oje me pai ake be pie to mo ba o jo ami
anu kwa
no pa e gwa do ba ko no pa di bu no tashi jo ba bo bi ko ya bo bi ko ya onu pa e ni oje me ameli anu kwale ni be pie ami nya me ka mashi mapa no gba fu fa wa be pie ka me tu ni e me knowledge and quality na promote na machine fi no ka fi ba man bi mi ashami no ka me wo mla ko man bi fa yin ni to ku bian eteshishi na kamba ni man bi fa pa ni sha kana ni wo ni so do ba
no bosh
yes because to mo mi nege gadu fu mo bi dimi bono mi shin chen be be taki ni aye taki ajo
ojeshi adenche
yes no keji that traditional council ndoko na me na ke ni ne boni sana fi le ne shi eku ami pe me ko politicians se keni bi ni atomo ni bi ko me yan ko mo shi keni bi ye ke o fi ne ke ni na kan do ti no wa tun yo bushi ye ni against me ko wo mra ko e hard la ke mani ma yiru
oye no
no ke mi nye ma yiru papa ke gbo ko tashi ni ye ko e do lo ba folo o ke gbo ye no ni mani ma so kule
onye ni
no be to me ko jan
you are done.
No, no, I'm a
you are done. Thank you very much. Michael, Teshi, you're my final caller. Talk to me. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny.
First, I'm not a Ghana, but I respect traditions a lot.
Thank you.
And then what I've observed in Greater Accra here is, I don't know, but the Ghana culture is going away. I don't know why we're in Accra, and then the schools are teaching other languages apart from Ghana as a Ghanaian language.
Well,
I don't understand.
The Traditional Council has raised a red flag around that or about that.
Yes, I schooled in Accra here. At very young, they were teaching us the Ghana. Those of us who came from other parts of the country were able to learn the Ghana and we complemented with our languages.
That's the whole point, to integrate. That's the whole point.
Yes. So I just call to, let the leaders know that, those who spoke, they should do well to work on this so that at least the Ghana language can also be promoted. Just like other places, we are all promoting our languages.
That is my contribution.
Thank you very much. We're most grateful. Thank you so much indeed. We can't pick any more calls, but do you know it's time for the ultimate cycling event on the sports calendar? Tour du Ghana. Be part of the excitement as skilled riders exhibit their riding prowess from the West Hills Mall all the way to Cape Coast Chapel Square on Saturday, the 20th of May 2023. That's tomorrow. Registration fee is 200 Ghana cedis for single riders, and with clubs who have 10 riders or more, you pay 1,000 Ghana cedis. And once you are sorted in that direction, it comes with a personal accident cover, accommodation, feeding, transportation. For more details, call 0244 893 758. That's 0244 893 758 or 054 60 63 747. Tour du Ghana, confirm your participation today. Sponsored by Super Yogo, Daniel Milk, and Verna. My name is Johnny Hughes. Thank you so much indeed for listening. And I like to end what Itakia said. Ke unukpa jibo ni otashi ojubang can be called young to wait. If you are an elder and you sit down and expose yourself, the children will look into your private parts. That's what it means. This is not ABF Hussein. This is our own Black Rasta. Achi motashikpo. Achi motashikpo. Aflole tomo chips. Akuti. Hey. Urban Blend is next with Black Rasta. You don't want to miss it. Especially the African history class. Before that, the Kukushonimu. Now in the bedding of knowledge. Yaneni ole mini obafe. Now that you know, but now you don't want to miss it. From now all the way to 2. Fire. Good morning. I sorry, but as for that, I was like, you come and speak it. I can. Yezu da kaga. Yezu da kagani. Yazakai wallahi talahi.
92.7 3 FM.